Hello. Hello, hello. Looks to me like... Oh, I always forget to mute my own damn stream. Hold on. Getting an echo. Getting double echo. I have Twitch and YouTube in my ear. Okay. How's everyone doing? So... lot to talk about. Most importantly, notice these neat little frames up here. I'm really upping my streamer game. I added these fun little neon lights here, so it looks like you're going to like a $5 strip club for unlimited breakfast buffet, right? So you're about to get the full cam girl experience. No, just kidding. What's to talk about? Okay, so first, if if this is your first time watching my stream, we're going to begin by talking about the dollar, which not trying to brag, but I'm going to brag. But this thing is just looking terrible. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the crypto market caps, what they mean for the overall health of the market. We'll go into Bitcoin, and then we'll go into some alts, and I'll take some requests from the viewers here. So, can everyone hear me okay? I feel like my... Nope, it's working. Sorry. I know I've been promising this. I promised that I was going to start streaming on TradingView, but it's a little buggy right now. Like, they're still working out the kinks. I've been going back and forth with the TradingView, I guess what their equivalent of like their help desk or customer service rep or whatever. But I've been going back and forth with them and working on resolving that issue, because I really think that there's a nice middle ground between doing a full length stream and doing a tweet. And I want to start doing like little 3 or 4 minute videos where I just like, plop out like my take on a certain coin, rather than always being like, here's an hour and a half long stream, have fun, right? Like I don't think a lot of people like to sit down and listen to that. But yeah, so still working on that. Hopefully they get that resolved, because I really want to start streaming on their platform. But in the meantime, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. Okay, so let's start looking at the dollar index on the monthly time frame. And we'll look at these Bollinger Bands. I apparently have some annotation here from the last stream, which was, I don't even remember when. But so here are the key features here. So the dollar index, for those who don't know, is just a relative weighting of the dollar versus other world currencies. So if the dollar, all you need to know is if the dollar index is going down, that means relative to everything else, the dollar is devaluing, and vice versa. Other stuff is going up. So dollar index down means dollar is going down, which means other stuff is going up. So the general takeaway is that we want to see a bearish dollar for maximum Bitcoin bullishness. And that's what we're seeing. I've been talking about this for a few months now, and it's finally here. I feel like a kid on Christmas unwrapping a present. And we're just sitting here waiting to see which asshole is going to be in office. Is it going to be the fat one, or is it going to be the senile one? Who knows? Who cares? But the only thing that we know is that the dollar is going down, and I couldn't be any more thrilled. And yeah, so here's what we have to look forward to. I say look forward to, tongue in cheek, but so we're in this nice descending channel here with very clean swing highs, swing lows. And these are monthly candles. Keep in mind, like, this is dating back all the way to 1985, 86. And for the last 6 or 7 years, we've been bound within this really clean range with support and resistance. And what really made me bearish on the dollar a couple months ago was this Bollinger Band setup, where we see this constricting of the Bollinger Bands, which means that the market is very tightly wound. And then following the coronavirus shakeout, it broke to the downside. And now following this break of the Bollinger Bands where it consolidates sideways, it looks like we're about to continue a brutal leg to the downside. Additionally, we saw this really clean retest of this level here, and it just got properly shat upon and rejected. So what does that mean? Well, the downside target, we got to keep in mind, is most likely not going to be realized immediately. It'll be realized over the next few months, couple years, maybe even a decade. I mean, the drawdown between February 1st and February 8th, I mean, that was a long period of the dollar declining in value. And so we could see the same thing again. I mean, we could easily see this thing over the next few years just trickle down all the way down here. First immediate price target that I have is it's going to be down here in this green box. That's why it's like this giant zone. It's kind of like a zone of uncertainty. And so, yeah, so we've got a large, just to put things into perspective, right? So the moves we've been seeing have only been like 1 or 2% from current price. We're looking at 10 to 15% to the downside from current value. And if that happens, we are most likely going to see crazy markup in stocks, crazy markup in Bitcoin, and of course, other crypto alts, you name it. If it's denominated in the dollar, that shit's going to go through the roof. So that's why I'm particularly interested in the dollar index. That's why I've been watching it, because I don't really care about the dollar. What I care about is the other stuff. Like I care about stocks, gold, silver, and crypto. Like that's what's the most important to me. But my bias is heavily driven by this dollar index. So let's look a little closer and then we'll dig into crypto. So on the cloud, which is my general trend metric that I use, we see about as bearish of a rejection as we can ask for. It attempted to break to the upside of this cloud. Here was election night and the market said, go fuck yourself. And it just rejected this move to the downside. And now we see this strong impulse down. And it didn't even make it up to the 200 EMA. It's just not looking good. And so when we look at it on the daily time frame, we see just how far this thing can fall. It is quite a long ways down before the next major support. So general takeaway here, bearish dollar index equals bullish Bitcoin. Before I get into the crypto, I didn't cover anything special, but yeah, do you guys have any questions about the dollar index, the general theory that I have behind it, or any of the implications behind the dollar index specifically? And then we'll go into the crypto stuff and all that. I'm already bullish by watching all the new subscribers. Yeah, I just had a ton of new people subscribe on Twitch, I guess. Yeah, that was a ton. That was a lot. That was exciting. That was a little fun little party there. Oh, someone was gifting tier 1 subs. Oh, that's awesome. Jose came to play. Jose came to play? I'm assuming that's what that is. Very generous. This guy's gifting 10 subs, so that's cool. It's the first time that's ever happened on a stream. Okay, so any questions? Are you going to get a lot of new subscribers to your trading groups, Bitcoin? Surprisingly, it's been a relatively smaller group, which I actually tend to mind. Although I have obviously a vested interest in seeing the group grow. I've kind of steered my trading group away from a wide net where tons of people of low quality tend to flock there, and that's how it initially started out, and now I've kind of curated my content and just the general mood of the Discord over the last 3 years to really cater toward higher quality, no shit posting, and just people who actually care, not people who are in it for the quick ride. I mean, if you're in it for the quick ride, by all means go for it. But I'm saying the people that have stuck around are the same people that have been there for the last 3 years. And so, yeah, just people that, are the real deal. They're trading all the time, and yeah. From YouTube, you think Zcash is ever going to pump due to halving on November 17, or is it going to keep cucking? We can talk about Zcash later. So the way I always like to structure the streams is I want to start really high level and get more and more specific as time goes on. I feel like that's probably the best way. Okay, so let's get into crypto. I always like to start with the market caps. Okay, so before I talk about the market cap, I got a last minute question on the dollar index. So the question is, your bearish bias is playing out beautifully. Thank you. I agree. Since the last few weeks, can you try and look at the dollar chart from a bullish angle? No, I mean, not really. And I'm not saying that because I just like have hopes and dreams of crypto bullishness. This is about as bearish as it gets. The trend is bearish. The structure is bearish. The fundamentals are bearish. I legitimately, I've tried to think about this, but I legitimately don't know of a situation that is going to push the dollar stronger. And especially if Biden gets elected, and this is just going to be a statement that is general, not politically aimed. I don't care if you voted for Biden or Trump. We care about profit, right? But the facts are the facts that if Biden gets elected, that most likely means a weaker dollar, just because the Democrats are for stronger stimulus, higher government spending, and that comes from tax dollars, right? So the tax dollars or from the Fed. And when the Fed prints money, it means a weaker dollar. So the fundamentals are bearish. The market structure is just stupid bearish. Unless there's just like some insane reversal, I don't see why this would have any sustained upside. Especially considering like the bearish structure on like monthly candles. It takes think about this like as a 2 mile long freight train, and it's hauling ass. That thing's not going to do a U-turn anytime soon, right? Like, this has so much momentum behind it. It takes a long time to reverse a monthly trend, and we're just now seeing the beginning of a monthly trend. So it doesn't seem very likely. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so let's go to the market caps. Then we'll go to Bitcoin, and we'll go to the alts. So let's start on total. That's where I always start. Total market cap is just literally the total market cap. So it has Bitcoin and every single alt. The general takeaway here, the general takeaway here is that a bullish market cap trend of higher lows and higher highs, that means that there's capital growth in crypto in general. And that is, for me, a prerequisite for adding any risk in the crypto, with the crypto assets, whether that means Bitcoin or altcoins or whatever. This just means in order to start thinking about any bullish bias on any coin, we want to see total crypto market cap growing. And that's exactly what we see. We see 2-year-long structure broken. It retested it perfectly and rallied. I mean, this is beautiful. This is exactly what we want to see. This has all the conditions we would want to see before any euphoria starts to hit the market. This says to me sustained capital is entering into the market, and momentum is to the upside. This does not tell us where we want to put our money, though. This says, if you're asking a question, should I be investing in crypto? This says most likely it's a pretty safe bet. Okay, so to get further insight, let's go to total 2, which is the crypto market cap, the total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin. And it's no surprise, if you've been an altcoin holder for the last, week or two, you've seen just Bitcoin finally have its day in the sun. Altcoins had a really strong rally, but the lion's share of the total market cap is quite clearly from Bitcoin, right? So let's go back and forth between the two. So we see total market cap here, or total 2 market cap, not really making new highs. I mean, still a bullish structure, right? We see higher highs and higher lows, retesting market structure here. And I think once it starts to break this, God damn it, once it starts to break this level here, it's going to be bulls on parade because there's nothing above this. So a weekly close above here, and it's altcoin season. And I suspect personally, I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later. And when it does rally, there's a huge upside potential in the altcoin markets. And again, this doesn't tell us which altcoin to start throwing money at. This just says, might be time to start considering rotating some Bitcoin capital, maybe taking profit on those massive profits, and shifting some of that capital to altcoins, or at least having a game plan. Like start, be a little truffle pig, start sniffing around, be like, what charts look good? What, have a plan. This says maybe not have your money heavily in alts just yet. But when you get the go signal, which is going to be a weekly close above this fella, the go signal says a weekly close above this, and it's time to start executing your trading plan with your alts of choice. Or if you're a more speculative person, start positioning yourself now and start phasing it in over time. So let's go back and forth between the total just so you can see what I'm talking about. With total market cap, quite clearly we see bullish structure, right? I don't need to tell you this. Unless you're Loomdart, apparently that guy doesn't know what that higher lows and higher highs are bullish, which I saw him tweet that and my mind was actually blown. But higher highs and higher lows here, breaking market structure, which is the most relevant point here, breaking structure convincingly to the upside. And that is, of course, again, being primarily driven by Bitcoin at the moment. What I expect to see is as Bitcoin starts to consolidate a little bit, that capital is going to start bleeding over into altcoins, and that's when we're going to see the strong breakout for the total market cap too. Okay, so before we talk about Bitcoin and more specific stuff, any questions about the total market cap? Do TA on Link? Yeah, I'm definitely going to touch on Link. I'm a Link maximalist. I say that jokingly. Don't clip me, bro. Okay. Do we see a correction with election, even though it has been bullish? Can you be more specific with that question? I'm not really sure what you're asking. And while I'm waiting for him to specify his question, let me go ahead and shill this promo code up top. It is if you've ever been interested in joining my trading community, go to bitcoinschmitcoin.com and use coupon code BULL50, and you can get 50% off your first sub. So check that out. Okay, I guess this guy is not going to dig a little deeper on his question. Okay, so we'll move forward and get into the exciting stuff. So Bitcoin, let's talk about Bitcoin. Okay, so here's the question. Bitcoin has been ultimately bullish, but just curious if Bitcoin will start to correct itself once they announce the president. I have no idea about that. I mean, maybe short term, but I don't care about I'm interested in long-term stuff. I don't really do intraday trading much these days. So I have no idea. If you're talking about like a prolonged correction, like a bear market, like something like that, I would be utterly shocked if that happened, and I'll explain why. So good segue. So first, let's look at the monthly candles here. So monthly candles, this is really exciting here. So obviously the monthly candle is just opened. It's only 6 days in. But it's already looking really promising. I mean, unless Bitcoin really, really shits itself here, and it breaks back below this level, oops, and it breaks back. Sorry, I was playing with this little thing, and it breaks back below this level here. This is the most bullish situation we can muster up on a macro scale. Once again, breaking market structure, pushing higher. If we close anything above 13.8, that's humongous. That is the final nail in the coffin for the bears, and this most likely means bull market for the next year or two, if I had to guess. But yeah, I mean, this is, if you've been sidelined, this is your guiding light here. So keep in mind though, this is a monthly candle. A lot of volatility can happen month to month, and especially within a month. So it might be worth the while to throw some bids on this line, this level here at the 13.9, 13.8, just for a Hail Mary buy. You know how crypto is. A lot of times it'll be trending up and then it'll be like, bam. And you're like, oh, fuck, crypto's dead. And it's like, just kidding, sucker. And it keeps going. A lot of times these retests, these like shakeouts, those will retest macro levels. And this is the king of all macro levels right here. So keep an eye on that. And as we drill a little deeper on the weekly chart, we can see why. So we had this range, which was our distribution range back in 2017. And I suspect there's a lot of bag holders in here. A lot of people bought the top of the parabolic market. They were buying. And finally, that's where mom and dad bought. That's where a lot of retail trapped there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some people, especially if Bitcoin like flinches and shows a little bit of weakness, I wouldn't be surprised to see a flash down to this wick and then a rally. But what I wouldn't want to see is a push down below and a closing down here. Closing below this level is definitely not something we want to see. But I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this where it wicks down, something like this guy right here. Let me make this, should I make this black? Here, black, is that better? Yeah, black's a little better. Something like this where the market was in a strong uptrend. We see this like temporary weakness, people panic sold. Man, I'm gonna pat myself on the back here. Right in here, this is when I started, I don't know if you guys remember, but this is when I started streaming again, was right in here, because I saw this and I was like, oh, this is a perfect bullish retest. Like, this is about as clean as it gets. But for whatever reason, a lot of people were really bearish there. I guess they didn't get the memo that higher highs and higher lows are bullish. That is the definition of a bullish uptrend, right? It's an uptrend. It's going up. High your highs and high your lows. And of course, right here off of this this level, it rallied and continued up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this happen. It comes up here, maybe it consolidates and flicks down here, consolidates and goes up. That wouldn't shock me. And similarly, it wouldn't shock me if it didn't do that at all. It left people waiting to buy the dip, and it just said, go fuck yourself, rally and retest here. That's what it did back in 2016. If we look back, at Bitstamp, that's basically what it did here. So, if you want to draw some sort of correlation, like we would say that this level here is the equivalent of this level here. And people bought the break, it was breaking out, People were like, oh man, when's it going to break out, or when's it going to retest? and it just didn't. It broke this high, and it flicked a wick down here, but unless you had buys ready to go, it just continued going up, broke the all-time high, and so I'm honestly expecting something a little bit more like this, where it continues up, it breaks the all-time high, people take profit, people think, oh no, it's bearish again, and then it just continues going up. So that is what I'm expecting. I don't see any reason for it to like do anything other than that. So, but that's why you trade spot in the times like this. Trading spot on high time frames is the way to go. Get trading. I mean, unless you're really good at intraday trading, this can be really stressful. And rather than enjoying the uptrend, you're sitting here stressing about 15-minute candles that are doing something like this, and you're like, "Oh man, I'm taking profit." It's stressful. Rather, ease into your position. Play into macro market structure, play into macro trend. So, yeah, don't over leverage yourself. Don't liquidate yourself before a massive parabolic bull run. Don't do it. It's going to suck and you're going to hate yourself. When it would have just been easy to be less greedy and just buy spot. If you want a margin trade, that's cool, but do it on not in the middle of free space where there's no support, no resistance. All right, let's get some questions going here. My bids are set around 15K. I think a brief retrace before tagging 16.2. Yeah, I mean, could be. Let's go back to Coinbase. I got all my levels there. Oh, 15K. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at all. On the weekly/monthly Bitcoin chart, what are the support levels you think it may test to be a good entry for long term? I just answered that. Question on Twitch: what about XRP? Is it worth it? Are you? I can't tell if that's a serious question or if you're just memeing. What would you do if you had some capital on the sidelines right now? Don't want to FOMO. Would rather wait for Bitcoin to hit the 20 moving average on the weekly, or at least 13.8 area, like you said. What would you do if you had some capital on the sidelines? Does that mean you're already in Bitcoin, or you have no Bitcoin and you're wanting to get into Bitcoin for the first time? Because those are two totally different answers. Oh, another question from YouTube. Bitcoin has been ultimately bullish, but just curious if Bitcoin will start to correct itself once they announce the presidency. I don't know. So as someone who is new, I shouldn't be concerned about the pricing to get in currently. I mean, you should, because if you just, if you bought in now and it retraced, I mean, if you're macro bullish, then the very short answer is, yeah, that's generally correct. But, it just depends on what time frame you're looking at. Like if you're macro bullish and you think that it's going to be, breaking new all-time highs in the immediate future within the next year, then yeah. But it would also suck to buy here in the middle of free space, not have any risk management associated with it, and then watch it draw down 10% and then rally. But it depends on your risk appetite. That's why I don't like really answering these kind of questions, because it's really, really dependent on the person. How much of your total portfolio is invested in crypto? How much? Because a 2% drawdown for you is totally different than me, because we have different portfolio allocations. We have different, assets that we're trading. So it's not the same across the board. What's your take on Ether breaking the all-time high? So yeah, I'm going to talk about Ether shortly. Oh, Crypto Jack. Oh, guys, yeah. So if If you guys caught my stream a couple streams ago, I had my buddy Jack on here. You should give him a follow. He streams 2 or 3 times a week, and he has my seal of approval as a no bullshit streamer. So I would really recommend giving him a follow. His username is CryptoJack, but the crypto is with a 0, so CRYPT 0 Jack. Go ahead and hit him up. Give him a follow. Give him some love. Okay, so from YouTube, hi, first time viewer. Hi, new to trading crypto. Okay, hope this isn't a dumb question. Do you think we can reach a new all-time high within 2020? Yeah. If you're asking if do I think it's possible, would I think it's ridiculous to expect that? No, I don't think that's ridiculous. And yes, I totally think that's possible. Just to put things into perspective, right? So current price to all-time high is 30%. Okay, when we were down here, when everyone was bearish to current price, let's just use the close, is 50%. Okay, and that was only a few weeks ago. So I know the dollar value seems high, but when we're looking at percentages, put this into perspective, that another 30% growth wouldn't be unheard of, especially when you look at something like this, where it broke out and it marked up 230%. So no, I don't think that's out of the question. I think it's more likely than not. So here's my crystal ball prediction. Totally untradeable, totally full of shit, but here's my crystal ball prediction. Bitcoin continues to rally. It breaks a new all-time high going into the new year. It consolidates around January and February, and then it continues up. That's my crystal ball prediction. Okay. So Marcel, if you don't mind me asking, so this is your first time watching the stream and your first time trading crypto. What I'm just out of curiosity, what brought you to the stream and what brought you to trading crypto? Did you like catch some news events? Did a friend tell you about it? Like what brought you? What brings you here, bro? Who do you know here? Question from YouTube. What are the levels you are watching if/when all-time high breaks? I'm watching the all-time high. What do you mean? The all-time high is only one level. It's one price. Well, several prices depending on the exchange, but generally one price. It's like 20K. Oh. My mic just squeaked. Well, okay, so from Marcelo, I bought crypto 2 years ago for the first time, like $500, then never touched it again. So you bought it like somewhere in here, and then you're finally in profit, and you're like, huh, I should probably check this out again. Okay. Now I have some capital to invest. Okay, cool. Well, if you want some, yeah, I suspect you're not alone here, Marcel. I expect that a lot of people bought the news hype in here and they're going to start breaking even soon. And more people like you are going to hopefully going to start educating themselves on what's going on. Okay, so from YouTube, what resistance is above all-time high? There is no resistance above all-time high. That's the whole point, is that it enters in a price discovery. I mean, you can kind of prognosticate based on fib extensions, but it's really just a guessing game, to be honest with you. I mean, fib extensions are really great breakout targets, but, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I just neat. Okay, so for Marcel, I just searched Bitcoin in YouTube and you just went live. but really love this so far. Thank you for doing this. Oh, you're welcome. I guess the YouTube algorithm gods were in my favor. Okay, any more questions about Bitcoin before we go to alts? Had a decent audience today. That's fun. I guess more and more people are getting interested again. Which brings me to my next shill. If you're interested in joining my trading group and you like my content, go to bitcoinschmitcoin.com and use coupon code BULL50 for 50% off your first sub. All right, so let's go to alts, shall we? First, let's talk about Ether because Ether looks mighty fine. Let's talk about the Bitcoin chart. So the Ether Bitcoin chart. So because I got some new people in here, I'll explain the rationale here. So it's not enough to really just, I mean, it's okay to look at just the altcoin USD charts. So say, for example, you looked at Ether USD, but in general, the quest isn't to see, will I make some money? It's what's the best and most efficient use of my capital, right? That's why we look at the total market cap. We want to see, are altcoins going to outperform Bitcoin? And if so, which altcoins? So to see which altcoin, to see if your altcoin that you're currently watching is going to outperform Bitcoin, we look at the altcoin Bitcoin chart. In this case, we're going to look at Ether Bitcoin. And we want to see if Ether is going to outperform Bitcoin on a macro scale. And my guess is yes. Right now, I see really strong trend metrics based on the trend model that I like to use, which is the Ichimoku cloud with the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA. And right now we're on the weekly chart. And we see a really clean support respect taking place over here on not only a macro structure here, but the 50 EMA, which the market hasn't bullishly retested since 2018. It's been several years. And you can even argue these aren't really bullish retests because it ultimately broke below it, but that's neither here nor there. Point being is that we're getting a bullish retest on the 50 EMA in conjunction with bullish structure, and we see this clean cloud breakout. So this is very, very bullish, and so and we see this this reversal pattern on a macro. Where is it? On a macro time frame called a head and shoulders bottom. Boom, 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 boom. And if this plays out, Ether is going to just really melt some faces. All the haters on Ether are going to be crying themselves to sleep and, telling themselves that it's okay when it's really not okay. That whole meme, but in real life. But yeah, so Ether, what is the takeaway from this chart? Ether looks like it's set to outperform Bitcoin in the next few weeks, and most likely few months. But the fact that it's finding support here on the structure, it's finding support on the trend, and the trend is a bullish trend breakout. This says that a reversal is coming sooner rather than later, most likely. So when we look at targets, now we can look at the USD chart, and I've been saying this for a while now, but Ether USD is showing about as bullish as you could ask for. It found support on this level here. It wicked down to this level here. And of course, we're seeing the rally. And once it starts pushing through this resistance level, which was the prior floor back in 2018, September to 2018. If it breaks this level, the next target is like $800. And I'm personally of the opinion that we're actually going to see some ridiculous markup on Ether, and we're going to see a new all-time high. Maybe even like $5,000. But after everything is said and done, so macro-wise, I'm very bullish on Ether, and in the immediate future, I'm very bullish on Ether. When I say immediate future, I don't mean today. I mean like next week, maybe by the end of the month, that sort of thing. But yeah, trend is very, very strong, and I still hold by my prediction that it's going to break the all-time high, and do what Bitcoin did last time. We see very strong correlation between. This is basically just a cut and paste of this range and Bitcoin's prior range. If you're new here, I'll show you. BTC USD. When I say prior range, I mean this sucker right here. So imagine you're looking at Ether right now, and this is the range. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And what's really interesting about this too is that these are actually the same dollar values. So the low of the range is, we could say around $200, and the low of the range, well, I guess if we look at the wick is $150, and the low of this range is, right around there, $100, whatever. And the high of the range is $300, and the high of this range was $300. So it's a neat little meme. But we can obviously see what Bitcoin did following a breakout of this accumulation range, and it just kept going, punched right through this all-time high and kept going. And that's what I suspect for Ether. Who knows what the actual topping value will be, but this to me says this sucker is going to get vaporized. Question from YouTube: do we chart and follow Link? I sure do. So kind of you to ask, and I'll get right to that because I love Link and Link loves me, and we're very happy together. We've got 2 kids and a dog. Okay, so any questions on Ether before I continue? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Is it possible? Okay, so from YouTube, is it possible that we see some more downside in Ether Bitcoin if Bitcoin keeps moving up? Yeah, of course. But the point being is that with this chart, the downside doesn't seem like it's going to go very far if it does go far down. I think it's closer to the bottom than not if it hasn't already bottomed. And that's why I think the reversal is going to happen. I think a lot of Bitcoin capital is going to flow into Ether, and we're going to see this sucker reverse and blow right through this level right here. Hi, Schmidtcoin. Hello, Whirlpool. Long time no see. Okay. Any more questions? Damn, dude. Someone already gave me a thumbs down. What the hell did I do to you, man? I didn't even finish the stream and you're already dissatisfied. Just goes to show you can't please everyone. I bet it's that same asshole from 3 streams ago that was telling me how he'll be back to remind me how I was wrong. Yeah, you know what the price was during that stream? Huh? I do. I remember because you were an asshole and you were very rude. The price was, wait for it, $10,800. Who's laughing now, bitch? 40% growth. In your face, nerd. What do you think of the cloud on the daily for Ether Bitcoin or Ether USD? For Ether Bitcoin. Okay, so for Ether Bitcoin on the daily, yeah, so that's why it kind of gets a little hairy, because the cloud isn't very good at showing where immediate reversals happen, but it shows you where where the trend is heading, or if it's strong or if it's weak or whatever. And right now, because it's slamming into this this horizontal level, and we have this bullish engulfing, that is a nice prerequisite for a reversal. And so not, we're getting a little bit of divergence here, but when I'm looking at the Ether Bitcoin chart, I honestly don't care about the daily chart. I think it plays best on the weekly. And when I'm throwing long-term capital at something, I'm not looking to get out like in a month or two. I'm looking to get out in like 6 to 8 to maybe a year. And this to me says start phasing into Ether. Because again, these are weekly candles. But no, the daily is still bearish. If you wanted to see the bullish signal for the daily would be price through the cloud, the Tenkan through the cloud, and the Kijun above the Tenkan. So still has a ways to go on the daily, but that's why I was saying, I'm not saying it's going to happen today. I'm more looking like maybe a week or two from now. Okay, let's in 2016, I asked you what an OG was. You were so respectful and answered without putting me down. Been a fan ever since. I mean, I try not to put anyone down. Unless you're a dick, and then in that case, I have no problem ripping you in half. So just keep that in mind. I might be nice, but if you're an asshole, then I will roast you in front of 100 people, or however many people, 60, 70 people. Okay, so let's talk about Link. Where's Link? Where's my Link chart? All right, so Link. So let's start on the Link Bitcoin chart. Right now, you see a lot of people hesitant on Link, and boy, oh boy, are they going to be sad. I suspect. Watch, it's just going to like tank down here. I'm going to have to delete this video. No, I'm just kidding. I always leave out my even when I'm wrong. I've never. This one thing I can say about myself is I've never deleted a tweet or a chart or anything because I was like wrong. I'm totally fine accepting when I'm wrong. I'm wrong all the time. Except about the dollar index and Bitcoin. What? I've been right about that. And Link for the most part. So let's go ahead and look at Link. Link is like the cleanest. This is why I love Link. This is why me and Link are happy together. We have a nice house, a modest ranch in the suburbs. Link is the cleanest trend in all the land. Okay. This thing breaks out, makes new all-time high, retraces, tags the 50, makes sweet love to the 200 EMA, breaks out, boom, 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 boom. It just does this over and over and over again. And right now, Link is making bedroom eyes with the 200 EMA, and I suspect that the Link Bitcoin chart is going to do something like this, or something like this, or something like this again, which most likely means significant upside. Significant upside that either breaks a new all-time high or at least challenges the new all-time high. Either way, the all-time high is quite a ways away, and very strong. You know, I would expect at least to, let's zoom in here a little bit, shall we? I would expect it to at least retest something like this. You know, this fella right here, which is still, so this is against Bitcoin, keep in mind. So this is a 60% growth against Bitcoin, which means that if Bitcoin goes up, Link USD is going to match the price or match the gain of Bitcoin plus an extra 60%. So it will outperform Bitcoin by 60%. So say if Bitcoin goes up the 30% to the all-time high from here, Link USD will go up something like 100% from here, which wouldn't surprise me. Because when we look at the USD chart, there is a another strong correlation with the 200. Where is it? Where's my chart, bro? There's another strong correlation with the 200 EMA. Okay. Link loves trending. Link is an uptrend machine. All Link does is trend up. It goes up forever. It goes up forever, and it makes these long-term ranges like this, and then it breaks out, and it goes up, and it makes long-term ranges. It's what it does. It's a ranging machine. And what I suspect, and what I've been saying for like the last year and a half, is once crypto actually breaks out, and when I say break out, I mean like Bitcoin makes a new all-time high and continues its parabolic trend, not just sees a little flash in the pan and then retrace. I mean like it breaks its all-time high and it sees sustained growth. When we start to see that, I think Link is going to be a long-term winner. It has a lot of, I don't care about the code. I don't ever care about any of that. What I care about is like what could be news driven with Link, and Link has the perfect fundamentals to drive bullshit news events just like Ether did back in 2017. So I'm expecting like $100 Link. I'm not even joking. Like a 10x markup from here would not surprise me. You know, a lot of people were laughing at me in 2017 when Ether was 27 bucks, and I said, hey, I think this is going to 100. And then it went to 100, and people said, oh, Ether's a scam. I was like, oh, I think this is going to 300. And then it went to 300. And then people were like, oh, this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And then it broke $1,000. So crazy stuff can happen, guys. Like, don't fixate on numbers, fixate on trend, fixate on structure, fixate on like, imagine you're looking at this picture without the numbers attached on the side, right? Trade the charts as if they had no numbers attached to them, and you're looking at just levels and just trends, and place your targets based on that, and then look at the numbers, because it's very easy to look at these dollar values and be like, you know, for example, when we were down here and we broke out of this little guy, it was $5. And I said, hey, double digits are incoming. And people were shitting all over me about it. And then what do you know? It broke up to $10 and it went up to 20. It exceeded my expectations by 2x. So, you know, don't fixate on like, oh, there's no way this coin is going to double. Because, man, I can't tell you how many times in 2017 I was like, oh, this coin is overvalued. It's too expensive. And then it just like tripled in price. And I was like, wow, I can't believe I sold that coin for no reason. You know, have a good reason to sell your coins, but also have a better reason for getting in. And if you see a strong trend, play the trend. Don't fixate on the numbers. That's like the best advice I can give you in a parabolic bull market. From YouTube, I'm about to drive right now, so wanted to make a request. When you get to the other alts, so I don't have to. Okay, so you don't have to text and drive. Could you check Polkadot calculated by TradingView? Yeah. I'll check that for you, Andy. Another one from YouTube. I can imagine Link going up 60% if Bitcoin consolidates or retraces, but not if Bitcoin keeps going up. Okay. Maybe. I mean, we'll have to see, you know? Any more questions on Link? I'm bullish. I'm hopeful. Especially with the way it broke this low. can't draw horizontals today. It broke this low and rallied. Closing above here, I suspect is going to trigger some bullish activity. But yeah. Any other questions about Link? $100 in 2021. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like putting time frames on stuff. I just look at like destinations, and I don't really care how long it takes to get there. Where are those fibs drawn? On Link USD. Oh, from here? From the bottom to the top. Now we're here. Boom, boom. And these are the fib extensions here. It's just the swing high and the swing low. Do you keep an eye on GBTC? I like it as you can get it. You can buy it as a tax advantage accounts, and the premium can go crazy. It topped $40 in 2017, a 200% premium. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it. I haven't actually traded it. There was a dude in my trading group who he trades it a lot, and he's been crushing it. He's been crushing it with the Bitcoin, the Ether one, and I think there's an Ethereum Classic ETC one. But the Ether one does a similar sort of thing where it sees crazy premiums. But I haven't personally. I've been watching it, but I don't know why. I haven't traded it. I don't really have a good excuse other than laziness, to be honest with you. Just got that Bitcoin dip I asked for. Did it dip while we were streaming? Oh, nice. Nice little wick. Look at that little memer. Boom. Yeah, good for you. That's funny. Okay, any more questions? And then we'll start talking about some. We'll start doing some requests. Okay. All right, so I'll try to remember these in order. So the first request was Polkadot. So let's look at that sucker. Actually, no. First, let me talk about Neo. Let me talk about Neo first, and then we'll go into requests. Because I'm really bullish on Neo. Okay, so Neo has one of the cleanest cloud breakouts. Say what you want about the tech. Don't give a shit. Blah blah blah. There's your forewarning. I don't care. I'm looking at the chart, and the chart is very bullish right now, especially with this buying response off the weekly 50. What I see here is I see a massive trading range, getting respected and bought up on the retest, and this is exactly what we want to see on a cloud breakout. And I have really strong upside targets for this. Just like Ether, this thing has been consolidating for the last 2 years, and I could easily see this thing breaking a new all-time high. I know that sounds crazy right now, but crypto be crazy sometimes, y'all. At minimum, I see it marking up to $47, but given the size of this range and the strength of this cloud breakout, I would not be surprised to see a new all-time high, which is 1,200% from here. So this thing's just clean as clean can be, and I have long-term holds on Neo because of that. Yeah. And again, this is a weekly chart, so I don't really care what it's going to do day to day. I don't care what it's going to do week to week. Well, I take that back. I do care. Like if Neo starts really just dumping, I do care what it does here, but yeah, long term, especially if it closes anywhere in this like zone in here, very, very bullish for Neo. And the cloud structure is just perfect. Okay. So I'm starting to see some requests come in. Let me tackle these one at a time. So the first one was Polkadot. What is the ticker? Isn't it just dot? Yeah. Polkadot. And it was specific. You said you wanted it calculated on, let me see, calculated by Binance. So dot, I'm assuming this. Oh, Jesus Christ. I remember you. Okay. So, I have mixed feelings about this chart, to be honest with you. I see an argument for a trading range being here, but you know, maybe something like that. Yeah, that doesn't look that bad. I would like to see. I don't feel like we have enough information on this chart to really make a good determination, because there's like no floor here once this breaks, and I suspect there will be a liquidity issue if that does break, and I don't like the fact that it's making lower highs. You know, this sort of thing. You know, it did make a temporary higher low, or higher high, but it's you know, it's not the best chart out there. It is good at current price that it's sitting above this level here, but yeah, I just don't feel like it has enough information for me personally to trade it. That's why I've seen this. People have requested this for the last couple months, and I just yeah, I've been avoiding this one. But yeah, I mean, it looks okay. Nothing terribly concerning here, but if this does start to bleed out, that would give me some major concern, especially if it gets down below this $3.85 mark, you know, that area. Oh geez, you guys are flying at me with the requests. Okay, I'll read from bottom to top. 80% of Neo is underwater though. So what? I'm just trading the charts, man. Do you have any tips on leverage to minimize risk of getting liquidated, i.e. 5 to 10x, 20x? Is there a number you don't go above? So that the number actually doesn't really matter a whole lot. What matters is, so man, this is a long question. But the short answer is there is no magical number that you can trade to avoid liquidation. You shouldn't be looking at leverage like that. You should be looking at leverage like, you should be controlling your downside on leverage, meaning that no matter if you're 10x, 100x, your potential downside should already be calculated and your stop loss should be appropriate. That's why I don't like trading leverage that much anymore. And if I do, it's really low leverage on high time frame on smaller positions, because I don't like getting stopped out in crypto blows, man. Especially in an uptrend, like there's nothing more painful than being like, oh man, I'm in this fat position, and you see this stupid wick on Bitcoin come down, you know, because you put your stop down here, it wicks you, and then it rallies, and you're like, fuck. If I would have just used less leverage and just been more patient, it wouldn't have been stopped out, and that sucks. Like that happened to me so many times in 2017, and I'm not going to do that anymore. It sucks. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to get stopped out, and then you see the rally take place shortly thereafter. Like the blows. You don't want that. Can we chart Wi-Fi and comp? Okay. Look at this little shithole. What's going on here? Oh my god. It's the largest Head and Shoulders ever. That's a rough one. So this chart, I'm not trying to get you down, but this chart looks like shit. Nothing bullish about this at all. It just looks like this, 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 and this. Yeah, before I would even consider this, I would like to see price through the 4-hour cloud at minimum. But this just looks like a bearish retest to me. You know, maybe I'll be proven wrong and it actually breaks through the cloud, but I'm just going off the information that I have right now. So there's your Wi-Fi. Sorry to bum you out. Comp. C answer to last question. Looks the same. Looks like trash. Sorry. For the same reasoning. Can you look at Monero? Yes. So yes, I will. After I get to this one, what is this? Okay, I don't even know how to read this. Bidao to wrapped ether. What is you kids? You crazy kids these days. I swear to God. Back in my day, it was just ether, and then ICOs came along. It was all downhill from there. You gosh darn kids, get off my lawn. I have no idea what I'm even looking at. But I know this chart isn't that bullish, so that's good enough for me. It does look like it's starting to bottom maybe a little bit, but I would like to see, again, same answer I gave the last individual. I want to see price through cloud. I want to see it way more criteria met to start having trust in a trend here. Someone wants to see Tezos. Whoa. Tezo. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I haven't looked at an XTZ chart since it was up here. And I remember, I don't know if, I'm not trying to say I told you so, but whoever asked me about it up here, I said, I don't see a reason why this coin will pump because it's based on holding for long periods of time and no one wants to hold a coin during a Bitcoin bull run. And sure as shit, this thing just dumped all over itself. This looks terrible. I'm sorry. You guys are asking me about some of the worst like there's so many good coins out here. Why are you guys asking me about all these like bummer of coins? Ask me about the good ones, man. Get me excited. You're making me hate myself right now. So oh boy, okay, there's a lot. Let's look at did you already look at Wi-Fi? Yeah, like 5 minutes ago. Keep up, Hanson. You're slacking. XMR. So yeah, let's go to Poloniex, the original scammer exchange. So XMR is actually kind of a bummer to me. I sold all of my XMR today, and I sold it for Ether and Link. All right, here's my rationale. The chart itself looks very bullish. Okay, so this is the Monero dollar. We see this giant double bottom. The trend is bullish. Everything looks bullish about it. But I don't know that XMR does well. I don't know that XMR does as well as some of the other coins out there. It did well during the 2017 bull run, sure. It marked up a gajillion dollars. But here, I don't know. I just feel like there are better charts out there. And given the rationale that I gave you guys about the Ether chart, I just figured, I'll just throw my money back into Ether, because I feel like XMR is more of a hedge against regulation. And the more and more mature the space gets, the less likely I see it pumping. Maybe more toward the tail end of a parabolic crypto run. But I don't see any. I'm not like recommending that anyone sells it. It looks great. It's a great chart. Has all the bullish characteristics you could ask for and more. I just kind of did it more because I would really hate myself if I didn't have more exposure to Ether than I do. Okay, the people want XRP. Let's look at XRP. Let's look at XRP BTC first, because I think that chart actually does look like shit. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like shit. But I think the USD chart looks okay. It's in this cloud sort of dealio. But I maintain that I still think I still have, even though the chart looks like shit, I still have a bag of XRP, because I think this sucker's down here. I think this is the same thing. And people have been hating on XRP. It had no reason to pump in the first place. It pumped anyway. So gosh darn it, I'm going to hold on to it until it goes to zero and I cry. I still think that this fractal is, I don't like fractals, but this one is okay for me. Okay, my throat's drying out, guys. I got to go train some jujitsu here in a little bit. I'll take 2 more. So, question from YouTube, or statement rather. XTZ is a good hold, but not when BTC is trending or the market overall. Yeah, I agree. I think when Bitcoin goes back into a bear market, I think we'll see more Tezos growth, but I just don't. There's no, like, why would you stake? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? Okay, so I got a request for DAG Bitcoin. Okay. Nothing terribly exciting here. And the trend is down. I don't like this chart. I think the reason why I'm getting a lot of questions about these shitty charts is because you guys are bag holding instead of actually trade. You're just buying shit, and then when it goes down, you're like, wait, is this gonna pump too? Do you think this is gonna pump too? I'm on to you guys. Okay. But sorry to disappoint you, but this also looks like shit. It's just the definition of a downtrend, especially considering it's retesting the support that's been tested like 1, 2, 3 infinity times down there. So not a good look. Sorry, bud. Oh, Zcash. Yes. Who has the longest Zcash history? Bittrex probably has good history, right? Oh man, Zcash is a perpetual bummer, dude. It can't make a bull trend to save its life. it just like, even when it gets the best chance possible, it just lets its parents down. Zcash looks like shit too, dude. Came into the worst. So the worst kind of rejection you can have is when the price comes into cloud and it gets spat out, because that usually means it's going to be a pretty violent rejection. It's part of the reasons why I'm so bearish on the dollar on the dailies, because this daily rejection most likely means it's going to be a very strong move to the downside. Like, it tried to get the resistance. It really, really tried, but it failed. Do you use single or double cloud settings? I use I just use standard default settings. Nothing fancy for me. Oh, Mad Mike. I'll look at Litecoin for you, dude. Mad Mike's he's watching his first live stream, or I guess one of the ones in the most recent history. Aren't you from he's from Australia, I think, but he's in my trading group. He's been there for 3 years at this point, I think. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at Litecoin. Oh, Dutch. Okay, cool. Dutch, Australia. What's the difference? It's the same, right? So let's look at LTC, BTC. Oh, this chart looks like shit too, dude. Man, there's so many good charts out there, and you guys are trying to bum me out. Let me try to skew something bullishly for you, because I think you like just bought it, didn't you? If I remember, you just bought some like over the last couple of days or something. Yeah, so he said the Bitcoin pair looks like shit, not bad on the USD. Yeah, I agree with that. Again, so nothing wrong with a USD profitable trade. I just think there are better uses for capital. That's not to say it won't outperform in the future, but it does have this cheeky little trend line that I bet once broken, we'll start to see some growth. It's making like this little like symmetrical triangle, which that's not a bad target. 70%, not bad. Two to three. Oh, this thing. Oh, you're talking about the trend line? Let me see. Yeah, I don't know, dude. This kind of stuff. I don't like training these. I don't like training. Training. I'm already in jiu-jitsu mode. I don't like trading these things where it's like, look, it's a 10-year diamond top. Like, I don't know. Especially in crypto, I'm of the opinion that capital ownership changes hands frequently. So when I see large scale consolidations like this, I tend to not really care too much about them. But I think this would be an important line to watch, but this one more immediately. But yeah, I go back to the original statement and what Crypto Jack is reinforcing here, that that's just better uses of capital, and Litecoin is not one of them, because this trend just looks like dog shit. You know, if it breaks out above the cloud, then cool, I'll change my tune. But this just looks like the definition of a downtrend to me. Every rally gets sold off on Litecoin. Yeah, exactly. That's not what we want to see. It looks like people are de-risking themselves on Litecoin, and that's not a good place to be in. Okay, that was about an hour and a half. Jack, are you streaming today, or are you streaming? When's your next stream? Yo, be honest with me. What do you guys think about these these red light district little flashy lights up top? Do they look nicer, or I feel like they give me a little bit of pizzazz? Give me your opinion. Didn't even notice them? Okay. Well, that's like when your girlfriend walks in the room and she has a haircut and she's like trying to get you to notice, and she's like hinting toward it, and you just you're just totally oblivious. Like, don't you notice something about me? And you're like, oh, no, I didn't. Like, I got a haircut. And you're like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. It looks nice. The hair looks nice. I like it. It shows you're live. Oh yeah, yeah. Good point. Because your charts are so exciting. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let me go ahead and shill my trading group one more time. I'm only doing these streams like once every week or two. But I'm in the trading group all day, every day. Let me say this with a caveat in case you lack common sense. I'm not there all day, every day, but I'm there most of the time, most of the days. I have to say that because I've had someone be like, you weren't here 24/7 when I needed you. I'm like, come on, dude, I'm a human being. But for the most part, like, I'm there. It's a trading group full of really great traders, really dedicated charters. We have a lot of new people as well. People who like to sit on the sidelines and watch. So it's great for all levels. But if you're interested in checking it out, go to bitcoinschmitcoin.com, use coupon code BULL50, and you can get 50% off your first sub. Other than that, I'll keep posting on Twitter. I've been kind of shit posting a lot lately, so I apologize about that. But it's just so fun when you call something so right and you still see people not getting the goddamn. They're just not seeing the picture, and which I'm fine with. If you don't understand that higher highs and higher lows aren't an uptrend, or understand why those are an uptrend, sounds like you should join the Bitcoin Schmitcoin trading group at bitcoinschmitcoin.com, where you can learn why higher highs and higher lows are bullish. Okay. Other than that, if you'd like to support the stream, one way to do it is just share it on YouTube. Give it a like. Give me a follow on Twitch, on YouTube. Every little bit helps. And for those who have been asking me about donations via Twitter, not via Twitter, god damn it, my brain's fried, via crypto, donations aren't required, but if you feel so inclined and generous, then I have a link in my it's like a little clickable link on Twitch. But other than that, I'm gonna head out. You guys have a great weekend. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't liquidate yourself before massive gains. Okay, guys, I've been saying this. I'm gonna give you a stern talking to one more time. But don't over leverage yourself. Trade smart. Don't be greedy. And what else? Wear a fucking mask. Stop wearing your masks with your nose hanging out. You look like an asshole. Okay? If you're on a flight and your nose is sticking out, you're not fooling anybody. We all know that your nose is sticking out. Okay? All right. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll try to stream sooner rather than later. Goodbye.